Hi, this is Sam. Today I want to talk about the simple fact that I'm going to die and the journey of this body and this soul. Not really sure where that's going today, just feels important that I talk about this at this time. I recently celebrated a 50th birthday, and it dawned on me, it's unlikely that I'll see another 50 years. It's possible, but it's unlikely. But our destiny isn't fixed. That's the one thing that I'm certain about in my life. Destiny is not fixed. With the right attitude and determination, the vigilance, if you will, you can remold your life into directions that you want it to go. But when I'm thinking about this, 50 years ago, or almost 51 years ago, I was conceived. This little seed came into being. From the little seed, we grow. We grow bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. Then at some point, we begin to thrive. Then we blossom. Then this body just withers away. These atoms just get recycled. So the body and everything that I can see in this room is a collection of recycled atoms from stars that blew up billions of years ago. So this body, these atoms, are constantly retaking shape and form. But once we get into the realm of the soul, that's where things are different. Everyone is born with this perfect spirit within them. Then this soul comes, this drop of the soul descends down. Some may refer to that as the Kundalini, as this Kundalini descends and manifests this body. So this soul comes into the body, but where did this soul come from? And because the soul was never really born nor dies, it's just energy like our perfect spirit. But in my case, my soul originally has spent most of the time in Arcturus, so that's why I call myself an Arcturian, because most of the time I'm there. But I spent quite a few times on Earth learning different lessons. And the greatest lesson that I learned in this lifetime is one of compassion and kindness toward myself. Because as a bipolar, I definitely did not have kindness and compassion toward myself. I tried to kill myself a few times. Then with the multiple sclerosis, really forced you to be more kind, more gentle with yourself. And through this kindness, this compassion of just trusting that I knew best, this body healed because I just let go of those stories. So what I'm seeing with this soul that comes in, most of the time, most people on Earth, 80% or so, are just coming and going and pretty much staying in the Earth realms. Here in this physical dimension in heaven, if you will, just to recalibrate, to go offline for a little bit. But then some of these people just keep coming and going. But then I'm seeing that these people that kill millions of people, these dictators, or the person, Dylan Roof, who shot those 8 people in South Carolina that were attending a church service, or Timothy McVeigh, all those troubled souls, if you will, that got confused and believed the world was them. They were against the world. They saw themselves as separate. I could see they weren't quite ready for the Earth School. So they're not going to be coming back here to Earth anytime soon. They're actually going to go to a lower civilization for a while to relearn. Coming to Earth is a privilege. Most of the time we're coming from these lower societies. Then we merge into this Earth School to learn even greater lessons. So people that are creating all this violence and stuff are showing that they're not quite ready for here. And they'll go back to a primitive society, if you will. It looks like there's about 250 is what I'm seeing, lower societies. And there's probably 30 to 35 advanced societies. I think we're aware about 20, but there's actually some more out there that will make themselves known in the future. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they'll just stay away from stay away from this Earth school, but it looks like 15 to 20 societies come back here. So about 80% of the time we're just cycling back and forth. Then sometimes you go back to a lower society, and a certain percentage are star seeds like myself that usually spend their time in other dimensions and come back here as artists, as teachers of kindness, compassion, or ways to express creativity. So that's where they're coming and going. So even though this body will die someday, and when I sit with that, I can really see when my expiration is going to be, but it's not fixed. Once again, its destiny is not fixed. I'm giving the expiration date, but it doesn't have to become true. I can either accept it or look for ways to prolong this life, like I did with my 5 incurable diseases. I should be dead or in a wheelchair, but I'm not. I found the right attitude and the right determination to make changes in my life. And those changes weren't big, huge changes. It was a series of small steps. If I would try to go from really sick to really healthy, this huge leap, it wouldn't have worked. But the way my small steps were to explore meditation, to actually begin a meditation practice, that's the first small step. Then through this meditation practice, some peace came. Then the peace grew. Then once the peace grew, the mind grew quieter, and I heard this intuitive voice directing me on the best way to live my life. Because we ultimately know what is best for us, and our soul is constantly trying to direct us what is best for us. But unfortunately, we live in this crazy mind that thinks it knows best, but it really doesn't. It's just guessing. It's just that deep intuitive voice that knows. But most cannot hear this because the mind is just too noisy, too busy chasing the to-do list, too busy chasing, happiness, if you will. So what I'm seeing, with this journey, everybody's going to expire at some point. And I really would love to lead meditations in the cemetery someday to get people to understand that this life is a privilege. We've come here from lower societies, if you will, at some point, and we came to the Earth School. Some graduate from the Earth School and go on to these higher civilizations. Some come back to repeat the lessons and try to learn and understand and grow and expand their soul. Then there's a subset that goes back to the lower societies because they haven't mastered the lessons here. Or maybe they're close to learning the lessons. Maybe they took 1 life or 2 life. That may not be so bad. You may come back into the Earth School, but after you go away for a little bit and have some life review of maybe perhaps being more kinder, more gentler. And what's coming to me for these slave owners, I see a lot of them are coming back as minorities, as a race that's discriminated against. They were once slave owners, but now perhaps they're the subject of abuse and discrimination. But we're all constantly trying to learn, trying to do our best. There's a lot of chaos going on in the world as we're trying to figure out our way forward. And unfortunately, people think they can control other people. We can only really control our own attitude, our own pull through life, if you will, the place of empowerment. But most people take the victim mindset that they feel all this blame is outside them. But once they go within and take responsibility for their actions, then that's where they grow. That's where they thrive, of taking responsibility. That was my hardest lesson, was taking responsibility. It was my 6 doctors' responsibilities to heal me. But ultimately, I saw it was my responsibility to heal me. And that's one of my great missions as a starseed, is to help people to step into their own power, to awaken their own inner healer, if you will, of just stepping into who they truly are on this perfect spirit realm of all peace, all kindness. But it's also living in the relative world, as I discussed before. There's this absolute and there's this relative. On the absolute, everything's fine, all is well in that space. But we live in the relative world, and maybe things aren't so fine. Maybe your life situation needs to change, but you have to find that strength within you to make that change. All change starts from within. Perhaps the outside world can spark that change, that you're no longer going to take that. Then you're going to make those small steps within you. And life is a series of small steps. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with that single step. And part of that journey is learning to see that your thoughts, your opinions, your beliefs are not the absolute truth. While they may be true for you, they are not true for another. For you only know what is best for you. So yes, we are going to die. And once you realize that you are going to die and that tomorrow is not certain, perhaps this will be your catalyst to take action now. I see procrastination as this great poison that we don't grow, we don't thrive, we become stagnant. And we're not here to be stagnant. Even if you have a damaged body, you can still thrive in your own way by gaining wisdom. And look at Stephen Hawking as a great example of that. Look at this knowledge he's sharing with the world, shaping the world, regardless of his body. So we all have this great mission to learn, to grow, to expand this body. But the mind's getting in your way. So if you want to know more about me or have a discussion with me, you can find me over at don'tdwell.org, DONTDWELL.org, or you can find me on Facebook by searching Sam Shelley. And that's one of my great missions that I'm seeing, that people need spiritual teachers, especially ones that happen through trauma, through a lot of pain. Because if you haven't experienced that pain, that trauma, then you too are guessing. You don't really know how to get that person to tap into their own strength, their own power. Getting there from this bipolar OCD brain was the challenge, but I figured it out. Once again, a series of small steps. So find me over at Don't Dwell or on Facebook. You can send me a message and I'll respond. I try to make myself accessible to all people. For right now, my following is small. I can talk to everyone. So take advantage of that. I'm here. First we have to make ourselves strong before we can help others. I'm finally in that place of, after 38 years of suffering, 5 years after awakening, to be in a position to help others. I'm constantly doing the work, taking these mental showers every day of meditation, examining the beliefs that I'm picking up along the way as I move through this troubling world at times. The mind likes to cling to those thoughts. For what you think about, you bring about. Just feeling the peace that's here in this moment. And the deep silence where the absolute truth resides. So whatever your mission is in life, you won't really know till you really tap into this place of peace in your heart and not living from that mind. Alright, I think I've shared enough today. Perhaps watch this a few times. Allow this to wash over you, that you have everything within you, that you are a starseed in some way, either from a lower society or a higher society. And you're here on this earth school to go to the next dimension, to the next level, to not go back to those low societies, to join the higher ranks, if you will, but not to beat yourself up, of just slowing down, taking time to smell the flowers, if you will, to notice all the beauty that is around you, and notice how that mind is filtering things, seeing the bad as versus the good. But we don't get focused on just seeing the good of the world. There's definitely things that need to be addressed, but it has to be addressed within us first. Okay, I'm wishing you much peace and blessings. Lots of love. You are beautiful. You are enough. Bye for now. Please send me your questions, your comments. Let me make some videos for you. Blessings. Be at peace.